Hi everyone. So what we're going to do tonight is a little different than what we're used to. We're going to take a couple of victims, volunteers, and we're going to ask them to come up and actually have a date right here in front of us. Yeah, it's not that strange. You guys do it in restaurants all the time. You think nobody's listening? Well, I've got news for you. Just like you listen to the people next to you, they're listening to you. So we're going to do the same here, just, right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to see the common mistakes people make. And we're going to learn how not to make them. This is actually built as a second level on top of the previous lecture 2 weeks ago. We gave some tips, we gave some ideas on what to do and what not to do. Remember we discussed, we went a little bit into the philosophy of dating. We divided the whole dating process into two. There's filtering, and then there's the marriage. Right? So until you're not done filtering, you don't enter the marriage stage. So we gave some tips on the filtering part. And today we're going to go a little deeper into it. We're going to discuss a little bit of what stops us from closing that deal, signing that contract, making it happen. Because something must be stopping us. You guys are all intelligent people. Right? Educated. Most of you hold steady jobs or have an income, support yourselves. Adults, mature. Some of you even have driver's licenses. What does that mean? It means you can handle life pretty well. Why are we stopping there at the relationship board? Why are we having a difficulty crossing that line? We managed to cross the other line. We finished school some way or another, right? We finished most of our high school. We managed to get a little bit of a higher education. We had a difficulty assimilating into the Israeli society. We managed to do most of that. Why is this line so difficult to cross? So that's some of the things we're going to be discussing tonight. In addition to that, those who were not here 2 weeks ago don't know that I allow for anonymous questions, which means you guys can write your questions anonymously on pieces of paper, which you can ask from Jessica. It will be passed over to me. We will then try to answer them to our best. So far, so good. So a little background about myself. It's true that I did study in LA, but I started not that long ago in DC, which means I went in to listen to this information. And why? Because I was facing the same situation you guys are facing. I wanted to build a great life for myself. I knew where I wanted to go, but I didn't have a path to get there. I had no one to follow. I mean, where are the role models of these great marriages to follow in their footsteps? Not even in fairy tales or movies do they have happy couples anymore. Right? If you watch any of the telenovelas or any of that, they're all fighting and cheating and killing each other. Right? Poisoning the tea. So where's the role model? Maybe some kind of a guidebook? Well, so you read a few books, and all they say is, look, you're a man, she's a woman, it's not supposed to work. If you manage to, have a little bit more than a miserable life, you should be grateful. Thank you. That's discouraging. Then they wonder why we're all taking Prozac. So what's the solution? I was standing in your position. I knew exactly where I wanted to go. I was a secular guy living in LA, having a good time, had my own business, studying in college. The one border I had a difficulty crossing was this, the relationship. But then I started actually doing something about it. And that was, I started going out there and gathering information. Not passively. I wasn't waiting for it to come to me. This is the motto of this generation. It's got to come to me. The motto of my generation was, if you want something done, and if you want it done right, what should you do? Do it yourself. Get out and go get the info. Find out what you need to do. And we started asking the questions. I started going to lectures, to open universities, here, there, wherever I could get it. Until I ran into somebody who was making sense. And I asked him for the root of his information, the source. And surprisingly enough, he said, the Torah. I said, look, I studied Torah, I grew up in Israel, and nowhere in the Torah did I get tips on dating. The only place that's, the whole concept of marriage was mentioned was a little bit with Rivka, Rachel, Leah, you know, but there was no dating there. How can I take any information out of it? He said, when you're looking at a very, very small level of the Torah is much deeper than that. So let me help you. And he started teaching me. And it's amazing. It's completely revolutionary. Because you see, when you get the user's manual to life looks completely different. You don't have to guess anymore. It's the guessing that was driving us crazy. You want to see how true it is? It's very simple. You're sitting on a date with a guy. You show up nervous. If he's nice and he looks good, you leave nervous. Right? If he's not nice, he doesn't look good, there's nothing to be nervous about. You leave nervous, and then you continue being nervous as you wait for the phone call or the SMS. And then you're nervous about what you should react. And the nervousness does not stop. And it just goes on, and now he's going to meet my friends, and what if he's going to pick his nose, and I'm going to get all embarrassed. You know, it doesn't stop. Why? Because we're in doubt. We're in doubt. If an angel would come to you at night and whisper in your ear, the guy you're going to go out with today, he's going to be the guy you're going to marry. He's nice, but yes, he picks his nose. Deal with it. Okay, what do you do now? The nervousness is gone. Everything is the same, nothing changed. It's still you, it's still him, it's still your friends. You're still in the restaurant. Nervousness is gone. Why? No doubt. So the root of a lot of our fear and insecurities come from the place of doubt. We're hoping to change a lot of that. Why? By understanding how the human being, the men and the women, were originally designed, and our beers are still being manufactured by God. He's still making people, and the core is still the same. So far so good? Get the idea, we get the philosophy? With that philosophy, we move forward. Now, we have our volunteers. Jessica, do we have our volunteers? Are there any volunteers? I think Jessica is one of the volunteers, right? So we're going to... Josh is one of the volunteers. Tell my dear friend. Josh, nice job. Let me get him on. Your date is on the way.
Right.
She's about to arrive. And as soon as she does, you're good to go. Now, you're not getting any tips, so feel free to make all the mistakes you would normally. And once you guys are done with the date, we'll take a little break and we'll continue.
Am I?
Yeah.
We good to go? Okay. Hi, I'm Josh.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi, Jessica. Nice to meet you, Jessica. Where are you from?
I'm from California.
I'm from London.
Oh, okay.
Just visiting for the week.
Oh, okay. Just the week.
Yeah, I'm a holiday.
Then why
It's
did,
the first.
okay, then why did you ask me out if you're only on a holiday? That's not really nice. I was looking for sure.
Well, if things worked out, like, I love Tel Aviv, and although I'm only on holiday at the moment, I may possibly make LA in the future, so.
Okay. Possibly make LA on the future.
Possibly.
Kind of predict.
Yeah, this is what this week's for, to
Exploratory.
Anyway, how long have you been here for?
I've been here for 4 years.
4 years, okay.
Yes.
You live in Tel Aviv?
I do.
Whereabouts in Tel Aviv?
Why? You're going to stop me?
No, just wondering.
Well, I live in the north. I'm not going to tell you my exact address.
bad experience.
All right.
We're not all bad.
Okay. Because you couldn't prove me wrong then. Okay.
Okay, cool. So, why did you make Aliyah?
I have to answer this question again.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I made Aliyah. I didn't like consciously do it. I was on a massage program, and then I was having fun, and then I said I want to go back. So then 3 years later I made Aliyah. So that's what happened. And what do you do, Josh, in old England, area of England?
I work in marketing for a cruise company.
Okay.
Yeah, been doing it for 2 years now. So very much enjoy it.
Cool. How old are you?
30.
Oh, okay.
And you? I know it's rude to ask a woman, but
It's very
why
rude,
not?
but you have to ask. You have to ask.
Yeah.
So I'm 32. I'm the middle older than you.
32.
Hope that doesn't bug you.
No,
Okay.
that's fine.
All right. Good.
And so you originally from California, is that?
Yes.
So whereabouts in California?
Oh, like 30 minutes from Hollywood.
Okay,
Yeah, I
cool.
used to work on TV shows as an assistant.
Sounds good. I've never been over there myself.
Ah, yeah?
So,
Okay, yeah, you should go. It's a lot like Israel, though. Yeah, it's nice there.
sounds good.
I haven't been to England that much, but it's cold.
It's not at the moment, no.
No, it's nice
No,
now.
it's nice. It's not far off. I mean, it's sort of high 20s at the moment. It's 35 years, right?
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know if you work in Fahrenheit. I said
Yeah, I
Fahrenheit.
usually do the Fahrenheit, but I know. 35
It's
to me
hot.
sounds like freezing, you know.
Okay.
But I'm used to it now.
It's similar to here, obviously. A bit cloudier and not such strong. Sun's not strong, but yeah, it's been alright.
Okay, good.
Have you ever been to London? Or
I did when I was.
Should I interrupt them? Because they seem like they're having fun, right?
And seen.
You guys are actually doing great, huh? Look at what? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a short conversation with both, each one separately, and I would like you guys to keep the impression of this date. And we're going to have another date. It's going to be a little shorter than this, for another 5 minutes or so. And then I would like you to see if there are any differences, because the purpose of this is for you guys to see live the differences. So far so good? Excellent. Come on in, bud.
Maybe use this opportunity to write your questions for the end.
No, hold on. Please do.
If anyone's missing paper and pen, I have it over there. So. Oh, sure. Can you stop the camera? Can you stop the camera?
Yeah.